Hi, I'm Sam Lam. I'm the program chair for the ISHRS World Congress coming up in Berlin, October 23rd through 25th. We're here today with Dr. Ryan Welter and Dr. Gorana Epstein, who are amazing at understanding nutrition and hair loss. And Gorana, could you tell us a little bit about what this panel is going to be about?
Yeah, thank you, Sam, for the invitation to lead this panel along with Dr. Welter. I'm very excited because I think this is a big missing piece in how we treat hair loss, because we are like focusing what's in the bottle, but not focusing that much what our patients are eating, what they're sensitive to, how they're correcting, first how they're measuring, and then correcting their deficiencies. And I think it's the critical part that we want to understand how to consult our patients to grow their hair from within. So we're going to cover major topics that we see with our patients, such as vitamin D deficiency beyond just giving vitamin D, iron store deficiencies beyond just giving iron supplements, conditions such as PCOS, insulin resistance, thyroid disease, which is very common, and also some food sensitivities. We have an amazing panel. There will be some lectures, but also what I think is going to really be beneficial is discussion among our panelists, what they do in their practice, what they found that it's working, what are some new approaches to nutrition that I'm always like on a forefront to learn. I think everyone is going to have something to learn from this panel. I'm very, very excited for it.
Yeah, I'm very excited about your leadership. Just as a personal pearl for me, about 16 years ago, I was about 30 pounds overweight, eating like a Texan, and my whole crown was thinning. And being a bad doctor, I did not want to take finasteride or minoxidil. I lost the weight. My whole crown has grown back, and I've had no hair loss in the last 16 years. So it's pretty amazing how that can influence it, right?
Try having a baby and then regrowing your hair.
Yeah.
That too, but naturally. Just joking. Ryan, anything to add about the panel or anything else about your feeling about everything?
Well, I can also speak personally. I'm very excited about the panel and the discussion and the opportunity. And thank you very much for the opportunity, by the way. But the nutritional aspect of our patients is so important. And I've noticed in my practice as I walk them through before surgery, optimizing vitamin D, optimizing hormonal interactions, because that's a big thing. A lot of guys are on testosterone therapy and all of that. So looking at all of those nutritional and metabolic deficiencies or things that need to be addressed, usually before surgery, if you can really optimize and get some better outcomes. And it just really kind of coming to fruition. And you see it a lot. And we're starting to come along, as we get more and more data together, we're seeing that there are certain, things that we can interact with and do to do exactly what you did with your weight loss and grow hair without having to rely solely on medication, which has been the mainstay for so long. And unfortunately, what so many people are kind of just tracked in as physicians, get people on finasteride, minoxidil, and that's about all they address. There's so much more to it. And I think just like Dr. Epstein said, the panel is going to be probably the most amazing part, because we'll have a lot of great experts talking about that, and bringing in also feedback from the audience will be nice, and get that feedback too would be really great.
Ryan, talk a little bit more in detail about what are some labs without going into crazy detail, what are some of the labs you do, or what's basic workup techniques you look at?
Yeah, so I think, first of all, right off the bat, women and men, totally different animals in terms of what we look at and what we'll do. So, and then depending on what stage of life you're in as well, right? So with women, we're going through many stages of life, and the post menopausal state is a lot different than the premenopausal state. And so the labs that we get are a little bit different. But generally speaking, I'm always getting hormonal panels on basically everybody. I like to know where people are in terms of testosterone deficiency, because low testosterone in women can affect hair, and men as well, but both can affect hair as well. And then you really want to look at some of the key vitamin that they're deficiency we were just talking about, iron and vitamin D, B complex, all those are extremely important. And then general nutritional health, I like to get some surveys about, what are people eating? And, you can tell a lot just by how someone looks sometimes, and how they're taking care of themselves. But all of those things kind of come into play altogether. But lab-wise, hormonal, vitamins, that sort of thing. Then I'm also looking in a deeper dive sometimes into supplements.
That's awesome. And Gorana, I know you can probably speak for an hour just on that answer to that question, but in a more encapsulated fashion, what are some of the pearls that you could give about how you work up a patient?
In addition to Dr. Welter's test, I run a lot of GI map testing because I think testing the gut and seeing what's in there, because a lot of health stems from the gut, and if we have unhealthy gut, a disrupted microbiome, leaky gut, we can test today and we can address it. So that's actually my starting point. I don't see a patient without lab results and gut testing, then we start a treatment. Also, as Dr. Welter mentioned, we have to separate women and men, and women are not small men. And men run on 24-hour cycle. Women run on 28-day cycle. Mm-hmm. And that also, we need to consider how they eat throughout their cycle, how they fast throughout the cycle, and also through different stages. There is puberty, there is pregnancy, there is perimenopause, and that also it varies in nutrition and their nutrient necessities. So I will try, if there is time, also to mention and point that out because of our female patients losing loss.
I'll say right off the bat too that we never really talk about this stuff, and we really just right now you can see how things are converging. We're looking at the same things because we see the things that are mattering. So that's nice to hear that we're on the same page there too. So I think there's a lot of great information coming out of this.
One example is low iron. I tested this patient and she was losing iron, and then I tested her gut. She had H. pylori, and that H. pylori was just sucking on her iron. And once we eradicated H. pylori, her iron went up and her hair grew back. So that's like sort of, whole is bigger than its pieces and it's smaller. That's why we want to emphasize seeing the bigger picture.
Totally. And just as a plug for Berlin, we have a great keynote address on microbiome and hair loss. So I think that's the latest thing. And I'm totally agreeing with you. Do you, Gorana, do you do a customized probiotic, or do you find ones off the shelf that match sort of where they were? Because I did this, and I don't want to mention a brand, but I was using one called Biome where I was able to customize my probiotic. Yeah. Is that something you customize?
Absolutely. If I have results of GI map test, I know where my patients are deficient in and what they have in access. So I personalize their probiotics, which I think it's essential to their results. And also, if I see the low mucus level, I would always add Akkermansia, regardless of the brand. I work with several top-notch brands, but I love to have personalized approach. If not, I always tell them to aim for like a wide spectrum probiotics, just to be able to cover at least 8 to 10 strains of probiotics, just to be like, to have the variety, including, like I always suggest to get prebiotics just as food for probiotics. But now that people, I think they're opening their eyes more to the importance of gut testing. And they do it for overall health, not just for hair, because, any chronic inflammation, patient coming with joint pain, brain fog, not those non-specific symptoms, a lot of that things get healed once the gut gets healed.
And I've heard that the flora changes, so that you should probably retest it. When do you think, do you retest it, and when would you retest it?
I give them a protocol. Once I test them, I give them the protocol, which is usually 2 to 3 months. If we need to do some antibacterial treatment or treatment with herbs, then to repopulate the gut. In functional medicine, there's like 4 R's, replenish, repopulate, etc. I retest after 4 to 6 months.
And do you feel like, let's say they're stable with 3 consecutive tests, do you feel like you could then go longer, or do you always retest at 4 to 6 month intervals?
I don't, but microbiome is going to change. You travel to Europe or you travel to South America, you're going to ingest something else. Even the quality of water, you might get some parasites. You get a new pet, dirty shoes in the house, that changes. It's like an ever changing system. But if they don't have, even with or without systems, it's like I would say maybe every 2 years it's good to retest the gut just to see where you're at.
Ryan, what are your thoughts on the microbiome?
Oh, just exactly what she's been saying. It's just I wish we understood a lot more than we do, really. And I think as we learn more and more every year, there's just more that comes out from a research basis. It tells us a little bit more. But when we start to use that, and when I've used it with our patients and seeing the outcomes, I mean, that's really what matters. And you see the importance of what you put in is what, you're going to, you are what you eat. And in a lot of respects, that old adage is very true. And we need to have the right microbiome in our gut system to help proliferate all the nutrients and the ecosystem, the balance that we need, not just for our hair, but for our entire longevity. So it's really great.
Well, I want to thank both of you so much. We're out of time today, and we really look forward to having both of you in Berlin. Berlin's going to be amazing. I don't think I've said that enough. We've got incredible master classes, short, long video format, debate, discussion. We've got multiple different types of amazing panels, including this one, including allogeneic hair transplant. You'll see an interview with Dr. Ginsburg and Dr. Waspar coming up as well. We've got 26 Coffee with the Expert tables that are going to cover the full gamut, including this panel. We're going to have, what my goal is, not if you can't get your questions answered during this panel, you're going to have one-on-one with Dr. Welter and Dr. Epstein on Saturday morning. So I thank you for your attention. I thank you, both of you guys, for being here and taking your personal time to be interviewed.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sam.
Thank you for the invite and for your time as well.
Yeah, likewise.